You don't need coffee, you need charging. Coffee gives you fake energy. Energy you gain off coffee is a toxic chemical reaction in your brain, which fries your dopamine receptors. Your body is a bioelectric piece of technology. Number one thing your body needs is electricity and bioelectric energy. You gain electrical energy from the sun, magnetic energy from the earth, and electromagnetic energy from fruits. Fruits crystallize the sunlight, giving your body bioelectric energy. Your heart is not a pump. It's an energy vortex generator, which turns the water in your blood to plasma, feeding your body with bioelectrical energy. Cardiovascular system, the tree of life in the Garden of Eden. Your nervous system, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Heart gives you life, the brain gives you knowledge. When you place hot water into these cups, they release thousands of microplastics into your water, because inside they're laced with plastic.
Third eye is not your pineal gland. It is not this gland inside of the human brain. People think that when they become awakened to their consciousness and they become self-aware, that their third eye is now activated. This is completely false. In order to activate your third eye, you simply have to do this one thing, which many people cannot do because we've been programmed not to. It is called visualization, imagination. Your imagination is a screen in your mind. It is the access to the astral plane. And this is what we call in the occult and secret societies call imagination, spirit vision. It is the ability to see beyond the physical world, see into the spiritual world, which is simply the astral plane, your imagination. If you cannot use your imagination, you cannot vividly see something in your mind's eye, then your third eye is not active. Third eye is your spiritual vision into the astral plane. To activate the third eye, you simply have to gain a strong willpower and direct the force of the mind to focus the light of your consciousness into an astral form. Visualization is your biggest power when you die. And in fact, when you dream, you're using your imagination subconsciously.
Jesus is not going to save you. Allah is not going to save you. Buddha is not going to save you. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself from the emotional chaos, from the mental chaos, negative thoughts, the internal trauma that you are experiencing is what you need to save yourself from. The universe only exists in this skull of yours, in this mind. The real savior is when you save yourself from the internal hell that you may live in, from seeking low-level pleasures, external validation. This is destroying your soul, and no wonder you feel so lost. You have to look within yourself and control the mind. And when you can control the mind, you will control your whole reality. You have to save yourself. Believing in a man in the sky will take you nowhere in life. Have an amazing day. They are trapping your soul in the earth. You do not experience the external world. What you feel is electrical impulses on your nervous system. What you visually see is light entering the eyes and the image produced at the back of the brain. You're experiencing a simulation produced by your brain and central nervous system, which means that the body is the earth. You are God, generator, operator, destroyer, the mind, soul, and body. The mind's the projector, the soul's the observer, and the body is the dimension. This body is allowing your soul to operate in this physical dimension. It's a vehicle. They programmed your mind to believe that you are only a physical being to trap your mind and soul in this physical world, in this physical body. But you are way more than just this physical body. The only way to escape is through astral projection. The Matrix is not physical, it's a limiting belief system that lowers our state of consciousness. Programmed our minds to be attached to the physical world through money, clothes, and fame. To keep our minds locked in the external reality, you must go within to expand your consciousness to astral project, to activate your light body just like the ancients were depicting. You can literally become a god and travel these other dimensions other than this physical world. That's why these Sumerian gods depicted themselves with two faces. Why is it the ancients were so obsessed with these mythical creatures? A man, an eagle, a bull, and a lion. We even see this in ancient Christianity. The bull is Taurus. Leo is the lion. The man is Aquarius, and the eagle is an old symbol for Scorpio. These are the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac. These 4 signs represent the middle of each season. Each one of these signs corresponds with an element. In the esoteric world, they teach you that you have 4 bodies and not 1. And your 4 dimensions correspond with the 4 elements, which also correspond with the zodiac signs. Aquarius is an air sign, which represents the mind. Taurus is an earth sign, which represents the physical body. Leo is a fire sign, which is the spiritual body. Scorpio is a water sign, which is the emotional body. These mythical creatures never actually existed. They're showing you the 4 dimensions of your soul. Aquarius, the mind; Scorpio, the emotions; Taurus, the physical body; and Leo, the lion, the spirit. These depictions are showing you the 4 different bodies of your soul. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio. The spirit, the body, the mind, and emotion. Each gospel shows Jesus according to the different body of consciousness. All of this symbolism in the Sumerians and the Bible is talking about you. Did you know your city has its own spirit? Keep scrolling if you don't have an open mind. Every physical object has a spiritual light body. You have a physical body and you have a spiritual light body that you use to dream. This is what we call the astral plane. It's the dimension you use when you imagine something. The thoughts, the beliefs, the traumas of one specific city manifests itself as an energy inside the astral plane. The thoughts and the emotions of the collective consciousness in this city manifests as a spiritual entity in the astral plane. If you move to this city, that energy will be impressed onto you. This is why the people who move to Dubai become more wealthy, because everyone mentally knows Dubai for wealth and money, which means that is an energy being impressed upon that city. Think of a place that you visited. What does it make you feel like? That's the spirit of that place. Personally, I don't think cities are a natural thing and we shouldn't all be compressed into these places, because the collective consciousness holds a power over you. Code Spring 30 ends soon. 13 is not unlucky, they made you scared. Jesus has 12 disciples, he is the 13th. 1 plus 3 is 4. You have a 4-fold nature, a mind, spirit, emotion, and body. This is why he has 4 gospels. Mark shows Jesus as a spiritual teacher. John shows Jesus as an emotional creature, water into wine. Matthew shows Jesus as a mental body, where he's intellectual and communicative. And Luke shows Jesus as a human being, where he does physical things for other people. 13 represents human consciousness. They have demonized it. That's why the word sacred is scared rearranged. They made you scared of all the sacred symbols. Water is emotion, air is the mind, earth is the body, and fire is the spirit. The Bible is filled with metaphors, cryptograms, astrological codes, and numerological codes. Jesus never existed. He represents you. He represents God made flesh. You are an extension of God's consciousness. Watch this YouTube video to find out what is the meaning behind these Freemasonic symbols. First of all, we have the compass. This is the cherry on top. It's the most important one. First, we must understand these. First off, we have the left pillar, Jackin. Sometimes the sun on the top, sometimes the earth on the top. Earth or the sun represents matter, what you can visibly see. The right pillar with B, Boaz, with the stars or the moon on top. This represents what you cannot see. External physical world, internal world of consciousness. The inner and the outer are mirrors of each other. Your current life circumstances are a manifestation of every thought you thought in the past. It also represents polarity, male and female. The brain, intellect, masculine. The heart, emotion, feminine. A compass creates circles, feminine. The square creates lines, masculine. Make the most out of life and make great decisions. The intellect must be in sync with the emotion. Remember that time when your head told you something but your heart was telling you something else? They need to be in sync, which is the square and the compass together. But this represents all duality. We need to balance the inside world with the outside world. Don't get too attached to the external. Don't be overly spiritual. Balance spirit and matter. Balancing the brain with the heart. It represents balance in all areas of your consciousness. People ask, why? What's the point? Because this is how you gain your personal power. You are a creator. You've been creating your whole life consciously or unknowingly. In order to create with efficiency, you must balance every aspect of the self. You do not want to get an electric car. The EMF frequencies they produce harm the cells in your body and create inflammation. Secondly, it destroys your electromagnetic field, which is your shield against diseases and negative energy. Your physical health is a product of your electromagnetic field called your aura. If you do not look after this field, your body will become destroyed. When the smart grid comes out, everything will be connected through the smart grid through 5G, and they will be able to turn off your car, your bank, your phone at the click of a finger if you do anything wrong. Corinthians 6:19-20. Or do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit within you? Tem means a place of worship. El is an ancient Canaanite name for God. The sides of the head region are referred to as temples. The head is the temple of God. Is this why the early Christians were showing God is in the brain, touching Adam? Genesis 32:30, Jacob called the name Peniel, where he's seen God face to face, which sounds a lot like the pineal gland. Maybe this is why Luke 17:12 says the kingdom of God is within you. The power symbol upside down is the neck and the brain. Res means head, erection means sexual stimulation, resurrection is raising a sexual energy from the base of the spine up to the head, which is heaven. Heart rearranged is earth, heel is hell. Heaven, earth, and hell correspond with the three higher, middle, and lower brains. Jesus and Satan is an internal battle between the higher and the lower self, which was Horus and Set in the Egyptian times. Ark of the Covenant is the two angels covering, which is the two hemispheres covering the flame of the mind in the center of the brain. It is all meant to be taken internally, not externally. We need to wake up, people. The fluids in your body are in a cycle, a rhythm with the moon, because the moon affects the liquids in your body. This is why women have a menstrual cycle, every month. So the full moon is a high energy. This is when the liquids in your body are being pulled the most by the celestial moon. Sun is masculine, the moon is feminine, emotion and intellect. So the emotion is being affected by the moon, which is our mood. So on a full moon, this is when the lunatics come out. When the moon enters the sign that you were born in, your sun sign, a sacred fluid is released from the brain down to the spine, and we must raise this up the 33 vertebrae of our spine to be crucified in the skull, Golgotha. The planets are not physical rocks, they are energies which influence the earth and our bodies, our consciousness. Astrology is so important, and this is why the ancients mapped the celestial constellations. This book has everything you need to know. The link is in my bio. The Book of Wisdom, PDF or paperback. Jesus knew this knowledge, the knowledge of your electromagnetic field. Without it, you are lost. Your internal mental and emotional states manifest your external physical world. Your heart produces this field, and you feel your emotions in the heart. Your thoughts create your emotions create the electromagnetic field from the heart, the energy in motion. And your electromagnetic field creates your physical reality. This means your external world is a reflection and a physical manifestation of your internal mental and emotional state. This is why your life is hell. Because you've been taught that your emotions are something that should be reactive, when in fact you should be choosing the emotions you feel so that you manifest the emotion that you feel in your external world. Because by feeling that emotion, you become that vibration. Your vibe attracts your tribe. You attract whatever vibration that you are. By combining your electric thoughts and magnetic emotions to feel something before you have it, this is how you become that vibration. You create your own reality. The universe is mental. Everything exists within your mind. Stop worshipping Jesus and all of these religions and external gods because they do not exist. Everything exists within you. You are the universe. Literally playing a game. You can manifest anything you want in this world. You need this to learn how to manifest properly. Sexual energy, when saved, can be transmuted from the base of the spine to the pineal gland. They show you this truth in plain sight. Standing on the red carpet, which represents the base of the spine, the root chakra. She activates the kundalini, and this represents the spine. These two kundalini channels are connected to the pineal and pituitary gland in the brain. The kundalini then reaches the tree, which represents the brain, creating illumination. This process activates all the dormant brain cells in your brain and opens new neural pathways. Here's another one in the 2006 Olympic ceremony. igniting the base of the spine, which is the sexual energy, and raising it up the spine to activate the flame, the brain. And this is the eternal flame, the consciousness in the brain. The Jordan River represents the spine and the brain. Santa going up and down the chimney. This is also mentioned in the Bible in John 3:14. Just as Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness, so the Son of Man must be lifted. This is the snake raising the sun, the fire, from the base of the spine to the brain. And this is the true Antichrist, keeping the knowledge of the Christ, the oil that must be raised, to the brain through the Kundalini awakening. Because they don't want us to unfold our God consciousness. We are all God in disguise. You're stuck within the cage, the rib cage. You're in a prison cell because you're made out of cells. You are hexed in physical matter. This is the X, the hex. The hexagram's a cube unfolded is the cross. You need to escape the physical world, the three-dimensional matrix, which is the world of Satan. Because Satan gives you the mark of the beast, the physical body, the 666 carbon suit, and then blinds your mind. Your mind is completely separate from the physical world. Through physical pleasures and lack of understanding of yourself, you think your mind is part of your physical body, when in reality they are two separate things. Your mind is completely separate from your physical body. The physical world is a dimension within your mind. Men means mind, mental. Mind in Latin means mens. In order to escape the three-dimensional physical world, you have to fully detach your mind from your body. Meditation is key in transcending the 3D world and traveling the depths of your mind. Mind and matter is one. They are different dimensions within your mind. When you dream, your mind creates matter. This is why mind and matter are one. The cube is the shape that gives rise to physical matter. The link is in my bio for the Book of Wisdom, paperback and PDF. Freemasons wear the M symbol, which is the same symbol for Gmail. The G is the Masonic G. The M is the mother. This is why they wear it in the genital area. The mother makes you into matter. Once you're made into matter, she delivers the male. Women hold a stargate within them. Everyone in this world has come through the mother into matter. This is why the female is so important. 0 and 1, the binary code of all creation. 0's the woman, the 1's the male. The male is the master over the physical world. This is why he is strong. The female is the master of the spiritual world. This is why she is very intuitive and sensitive to energy. The male is electric. This is a penetrating force. Female is magnetic. She attracts. Electric and magnetic, electromagnetism. If you understand electromagnetism, you understand everything. Everything is electromagnetic. It is the real atom. The 7 planets are gods. They are not spinning balls in space. They are lights within the firmament. The 7 planets give you the 7 days of the week, the 7 metals, the 7 chakras. Low vibrating light turns into matter, high vibrating matter turns into light. The 7 planets give their lights onto the earth and they create the 7 metals. This is why the 7 metals have the same symbols for the 7 planets. Sun gives you gold, the moon gives you silver, Saturn gives you lead. Elohim are the 7 planets. The Bible says, the Elohim, let us make humans in our image and after our likeness. The 7 energies give us 7 vices to operate in this soul system. Sun, the life giver. Mercury, the intellect. The moon, emotive. Saturn, structure and discipline. The 7 Jewish candlestick are the 7 planets. Revelation 1:20, the 7 stars are the 7 angels of the churches. Job 38:32, do you know the audience of the heavens? Can you establish their rule on the earth? The heavens rules over the earth. Judaism is the worship of Saturn. This is why they worship their god on Saturn Day. Christianity is a sun cult. This is why they worship their god on Sunday and has 12 disciples for the 12 zodiac signs. This book's called the Book of Wisdom. The link is in the bio for the PDF or the paperback. There is worldwide shipping. Let's break down the $1 bill. The eye in the triangle. There are 4 planes of consciousness: mental, astral, etheric, and physical. The etheric is the barrier between the physical and the spirit realm, symbolized as the triangle. Eye symbolizes the invisible intelligence, the observing consciousness inside of the brain. Our invisible intelligence has the ability to see through the ether, the triangle, into the physical and the spirit realms. Jesus in French is I am. The letter I is the number 1, which is 1 line. Inside of you is your internal invisible self, your invisible intelligence where your insight is created. Our consciousness, our invisible intelligence is God. This is why the ancient Christians show God is in the middle of the brain. The body and the physical realm is split into duality, 1 and 2, but your invisible intelligence is the 1. This is why this symbol is on the $1 bill. The 1 is in between the 2. Your invisible intelligence, the I am, your consciousness, is in between the 2 hemispheres of the brain. This book is called The Book of Wisdom. There are paperbacks and PDFs available. The link is in my bio. There is worldwide shipping. The earth is darkness, it produces no light. All of the light comes from above in the heavens. This is why all religions stem back to the worshipping of the stars. Without them, we would be dead. Why do you think Jesus is called the risen Saviour, the light of the world, and has 12 disciples for the 12 constellations? The sun rises every morning and saves you. He's the risen Saviour. Your body is the darkness, your consciousness is the light. Out of the darkness ye must rise upwards, one with the light and one with the stars. The emerald tablets of Thoth. Why do you think the Freemasons always show a ladder up to the celestial stars above and depict all of the light coming from above? They want you to believe this to keep you stuck down here within the darkness. The stars represent the higher realms beyond the earth. Beyond the stars is the astral plane. This is why the word astral has star within it. Change this to astro, astronomy. Space is fake. Earth rearranged is heart. Heart means middle. This is why the Freemasons stand on the checkerboard. It represents duality, good and evil, day and night. The sun is electric, the moon is magnetic. The sun gives you energy, the moon takes your energy. Male and female. The moon governs liquids on the earth and in your body. This is why the tides on the ocean follow the moon. The menstrual cycle is the moonstral cycle. It takes 14 days for the moon to wax or wane to a full or new moon. It takes 14 days for the egg to become mature in the ovaries. Month is a month. The moon travels around the zodiac every 28 days. Body, mind and soul. The earth is your body, the moon is your mind, the sun is your soul. The moon is your mind. This is why we say lunatic, or in your mind you have a specific mood, which is moon. You can use the moon to your advantage. Start a new project or a new chapter in your life when there is a new moon, because then it'll be growing with you. We do not live on a spinning ball in space. Everything is divinely created. The yin and yang is the sun and the moon, the day and night, good and evil. We live in a dualistic realm, people. This book is going to give you the knowledge so that you can understand yourself and the realm you are in. The link is in the bio to get your hard copy, or you can get the PDF. There is worldwide. Bless is be less. Be less you. When something is really good, we say that is sick. Another word for good is wicked. That's wicked. The English language is full of hidden spells. This is why we call it spelling. Because every word you say is creating torus fields, which is energy and frequency. Frequency is the only thing that can penetrate your body without your consent. You can choose what you put into your body, but you cannot choose what you hear. Every frequency you listen to and produce has an effect on your cells and electromagnetic field. And when this field becomes destroyed, your body becomes destroyed. Because energy and frequency comes before physical matter. It is the creator of physical matter. English is the most spoken language in the world. They want everyone to speak it because it's filled with double meaning words which cast hidden spells. Mourning is the feeling you feel when someone has died. Why do you think the Bible says death and life are in the power of the tongue? The brain is not your mind. The mind's the intelligence, the brain's the computer, the nervous system's the machine. Choice, program and action. You are not the body, you are the invisible intelligence. Every thought has an emotion attached to it. Thoughts are electrical, emotions are magnetic. Your emotions are felt in the heart, and the heart produces the electromagnetic field. Your emotional state will create your vibe, and your vibe will attract your tribe. You attract whatever frequency that you operate on. Mind creates matter. The external world mirrors the state of your internal thoughts and emotions. You set your frequency with your mind, with your thoughts. This is why we call it a mindset. You've got to set your mind to the frequency of what you want. And when you become that frequency, you will attract that frequency. You right now are a result of your past thoughts. In order to change your future, you've got to change your thoughts now. Your emotions are not what you've been taught. It is energy in motion. Your emotions are not meant to be reactive. You are meant to control your emotions because they are a creational force which attracts things to you. Your emotions were given to you so that you can manipulate matter. We live in a holographic world, people. It is projected from within yourself. You change your internal world, you change your external world. If you want to learn more, the link is in the bio for the paperback book of wisdom, worldwide shipping. Race doesn't exist. Your brain is not your mind. Your brain is a central processing computer which connects the five senses. You do not see into reality. Light is sucked through the eyes and the image is produced at the back of the brain. You are the consciousness experiencing the program being ran by the central nervous system. Europeans or white people live in an environment where there is not much sun, so their hair droops downwards to cover their necks for warmth. Melanin is a product of the sun. Their hair grows outwards towards the sun. People's bodies are a product of the environment they live in. I am you and you are me. We are all part of an infinite consciousness expressed in different bodies. The Egyptians knew this. The Ankh is the symbol for life. This is the one giving the life to all the different life forms and bodies. Every single one of you refers to yourself as I. I is the number one, which is one line. We are all the one consciousness in different bodies. One is the only true number. Everything goes up in ones because we all come from the one. The 7 colors come from the one white light. Everything is one. You are the one observing your mind. This is your soul. Every single one of you is a soul. We are all the exact same infinite consciousness. Become a member of the Wisdom Academy. Use the code 4U for 26% off. This is why the word breath means spirit, because when we breathe deeply and do breath meditation, we strengthen our electromagnetic field, which is your spirit, your spiral. Breathing exercises sends oxygen, which is energy, to the brain and stimulates the pineal gland. You can quite literally trip off your breath because your lungs produce DMT, and when you breathe deeply, you can activate a mystical experience or an outer-body experience during meditation. So when you breathe deeply for long periods of time, you will feel yourself going lightheaded because you're activating your consciousness, you're awakening your pineal gland and your spirit. Whatever you do, stop breathing. There is a hidden meaning behind this symbolism that astronauts do. Warning, this information is not for everyone and your mind might just be altered after watching this. It symbolizes speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil. Your external world that you look into is actually truly internal. Light enters the eyes and it goes to the visual cortex at the back of the brain, and this is what produces the image that we see. Light is a form of wave. It is a light wave, and light waves carry information. This information is given to the visual cortex, and then the visual cortex creates the image. The information carried on the wave of light has an effect on your brain and then has an effect on the whole of your central nervous system and your cells. This is why you feel darkness within you when you see something very sensitive. Because what we see, hear and say has an effect on our whole central nervous system and our cells. So this is why you should never speak, see or hear no evil. There is a hidden meaning behind Easter. Warning, if you believe in Christianity, you might not believe it after this video. Easter is not the resurrection of Jesus, it's the resurrection of the sun turning into spring. The winter time is symbolized as death because everything dies in the winter. When the sun enters Aries, this is the lamb, which is the Lamb of God. Everything springs back to life and arises. Aries is an anagram for arise. The Jews call this the Passover because the sun has now passed the winter and entered Aries. This is why they sacrifice the lamb. Aries, the spring, is the true New Year's, and this is when Ramadan is celebrated. Ramadan, Ra, is the Egyptian sun god. As within, so without. What happens outside of you happens within you. You must raise the solar plexus energy to the brain. And this is when you arise to Aries. This then creates the resurrection of Christ, which is Christ consciousness, which is activating the pineal gland to create enlightenment. And this symbolizes your life going from the winter into the summertime, new light, new beginnings. You are born again. The Bible is filled with metaphorical and allegorical stories, and this is why we all need to. The Bible is filled with metaphorical and allegorical stories, and this is why we all need to read it right so that we can gain a deep. Freemasonic compass is a compass and a square. Compass for the circles, the square for the square. Circle is the eternal plane. This is the mind, the soul, the spirit, which is within us, where there is no time, no space, no matter. This is the no beginning, no end. The square has beginning and end. This is the physical plane. This is where material things manifest from the mind, the eternal plane. This is where time, space, and matter and limitations exist. The Leonardo da Vinci Vitruvian Man is showing you the man in the square with the eternal circle outside of the square. The circle, which is the mind, the eternal self, the consciousness, manifests the physical plane. It is circles over squares, which is why the compass is on top of the square. The G is 7, because the 7 planets or spheres of energy manifest this physical material world. This is the generative principle of the 7 planets, the 7 days of the week, the 7 metals, the 7 diatonic tones, 7 colors. The celestial bodies are spheres and they rule over the earth, which is astrology. They give their energy to the earth, influencing the earth. The earth is the square. This is spheres over the square. We need to think outside of the box to reach our eternal self, which is mind. The mind is eternal, it is infinite, it has no limitations. Everything can exist in the mind. There is no limitation. This sign is not the devil horns. It's the moon crescent. Moon is mood, which is emotion. The moon crescent on top of the head symbolizes emotion ruling over our mind, our body, our life. Devil is red because the red is the lowest vibrational color. And this is you when you are operating your life in your animal nature. The devil is the ground animal, the lower self. The bird is the angel, which is the higher self. When we see the man standing on the moon, this represents conquering the emotion and they no longer govern your life. Your emotions change all the time, and this is symbolized as the moon phases. Money rules your emotions, and this is why money has moon within it. A demon is actually your emotions. Lucifer fell from heaven to earth. Lucifer means star. The 5-pointed star is your 5 senses. When your 5 senses rule over your life, this is when you are becoming Lucifer, Satan, or the devil, which is the inverted pentagram. This is spirit on the top. The inverted one is spirit on the bottom, because your spirit is no longer controlling your body. It's being ruled by the lower mind, by the 5 senses and your emotions. God and the devil exist within yourself. It's a battle between your higher mind and lower mind, between the 5 senses and your mind, your consciousness. Religion has externalized the truth, so they keep you in your animal nature. Stop worshipping God, become the God self, because females represent magnetism. This is why they are curvy and attractive. Males represent electricity, which is the action-taking force. This is because everything is created out of electromagnetism. This is the real atom. This field spirals while coming inwards and outwards. The out force is the male, which is the red, and the in force is the female. This creates red shift, the out force, the in force blue shift. This is why everything is red and blue. Roses are red, violets are blue. God, Allah, Elohim are all names for the Supreme Being. They all add up for 26. 26 is 8. 8 is the Taurus field. God is light. God is energy. Everything is God. We are all God. 0 and 1, the binary code of all creation. 0, the cosmic womb. 1 is the action-taking force. Male and female comes from the Taurus field. 0 and 1. The phi symbol is the Taurus field. Physical is the phi cycle, the cycle of the atom, which is a Taurus field. Day and night, we live in cycles. If you open your eyes, you will see magnetism in every aspect of creation. Everything physically is electric. Everything runs off electricity. Without electricity, your body couldn't move and the world wouldn't exist. Your brain is an electrical computer, and it is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Porn drains your sexual energy, which is your orange chakra, and this is why it's orange. Sexual energy takes over the mind and influences your body. This is why it's the most potent emotion the human can feel. It is symbolized as the serpent tempting you to eat the fruit, because it's tempting you to release your sacred fluids. Sexual transmutation is transmuting the sexual energy into other aspects of your life. It can either be Kundalini, critical thinking, or even the gym. The spine has 2 coils wrapped around it, which is the energy channels for your Kundalini to go up to the brain. The resurrection of Christ is nothing but a metaphor for rise erection. rising your erection sexual energy to the pineal gland to activate 100% of our brains, to activate Christ consciousness. This is known as being born again and seeing the kingdom of God in John 3:3 for the 33 vertebrae on your spine. Your sexual fluids have a strong energy behind them, and this energy can create a whole new human being. So imagine how powerful that is if you retained it. We become mentally, physically, and spiritually stronger by holding this fluid. This is why it's free, because it makes you weak. You are the product. Snakes and ladders is truth in plain sight. Your spine is the ladder and the kundalini is the snake. The snake in the tree of knowledge of good and evil is also the kundalini in the central nervous system, the spine up to the brain. The serpent is always tempting you to release your sexual energy, because sexual energy is the most powerful and potent emotion the human can feel. So when you overcome it, you are fighting the snake. And when you retain this energy, you can then resurrect, which means rise-erection, raising the erection to the brain to illuminate the pineal gland. Why do you think the word sex has the S in it, which is the serpent, the sexual essence? If you release your fluids all the time, you will become mineral deficient. Your sexual energy is the most powerful and potent energy within your body. It is your soul force. Even if you're not transmuting this energy into kundalini, you can transmute it into critical thinking or other aspects of your life. Watching them dirty websites and masturbating all the time will destroy your mental health, because in your mind you are literally that person in the corner of a room watching two people have pleasure. What you do in your alone time will manifest into light into other aspects of your life. This is why you will not be confident, you will not radiate, because you know what you are doing on a deep level on your own, and you know it's disgusting. Spirituality is a psyop, people. It's all about your mind. It's about transmuting all the negative aspects of your mind into positive. When you change your mind, you change your body, your life, and your spirit. Your body is a prison. The real matrix is your consciousness being stuck in third-dimensional awareness, the physical body. Every religion teaches that this world is the false world, and there is a heaven or another base reality. You're made out of cells, a prison cell, and your ribcage is a cage. This is why the Bible says, do not love this world nor the things it offers you. Your mind operates outside of this physical plane without time, space, and matter, and no limitations. Therefore, material addiction and emotions is what ties you to the physical plane. But heaven is not what you think. Sin means sine, which is time, the sine wave of time. And negative emotions such as hate, fear, and jealousy only exist in a world of time. Therefore, love, contentment, and joy can exist without time. Therefore, your emotions is what takes you away from God, which is your higher self, your higher mind, your pure consciousness, which exists outside of this physical body. This is why you call it my body. This is mine. It's a possession. It's not you. You are the I am. There is another plane beyond the physical plane called the astral plane, and this is where the realm of imagination or spirits are, and you can enter this through astral projection. Heaven is the higher astral realms where your mind can operate without limitation. The toroidal field is a multi-dimensional energy pattern. It is a universal blueprint in which all energy and matter manifests. It can be visualized as a donut-shaped configuration where energy is in a continuous loop. The central axis in which the energy goes in and then back out is called the hyperboloid. And this corresponds with our spines. Our spines are also a hyperboloid for this electromagnetic torus field. The flow of energy within our torus field and our body follows the same principles that govern the larger universal patterns. Thoughts and emotions are also forms of energy which manifest through our electromagnetic torus field. A stone thrown into water will create ripples, which will create inconcentric circles which travel outward. This is the two-dimensional representation of how we visualize sound waves. In three-dimensional space, sound waves propagate in all directions, which creates a spherical wave front. When these sound waves expand, they create the torus field shape. When we speak, we create vibrational waves which expand in all directions into torus fields. And this is why talking is called torque, torus fields. The words we say have an effect on other people's fields and your fields itself, affecting reality in all directions. Stop listening to music. It's bad because it reprograms your subconscious mind by putting you in a hypnotic state. You want to dance or do something when you listen to music because it puts you in hypnosis. You remember the lyrics so vividly because it rewrites your subconscious mind. Every word they are saying in the song is molding and shaping your mind in some form or way. Why do you think you want to hurt someone when you listen to drill music, or want to dance hard when you listen to techno? When you listen to music, you literally cannot think because it's putting you in hypnosis. Spotify and Apple Music are all tuned to 440 Hz, which shuts down the right hemisphere of your brain because they do not want you thinking creatively or intuitionally. Music creates thought loops within your mind. This is why you feel nostalgia when you listen to an old song you used to listen when you were a child. The repetitive music and beats creates thought loops in your mind. In nature, nothing is repeating. Everything is constantly transforming. It's the same with your mind. Your mind should be constantly transforming to bigger and better things. Listen to music in 432 Hz or 528 Hz and make sure it has no demonic lyrics and no repetitive. Heaven and hell are states of consciousness. 144,000 faithful Christians will go to heaven. This is nothing but a frequency to go from the root chakra to the crown. When you achieve this frequency, you gain the armor of God, which is the strong electromagnetic field to protect you. Raising the frequency of this field is what allows you to pass the veils from the physical into the higher realms of consciousness. Devil is de-veil, because doing evil, doing the devil, lowers your states of consciousness. The resurrection of Christ is nothing but a metaphor for rising the erection, rising your sexual energy up to the head. The devil is red because it represents the lowest frequency, which is the root chakra. Keeping your emotions in balance and your thoughts and actions aligned with the divine mind, the higher self, this is how you reach the highest states. By doing this, you gain the Holy Spirit, your spiraling electromagnetic field. Even the food that we are consuming is keeping our bodies, minds, and spirits stuck in the lower states of consciousness, third dimensional awareness. To reach these higher states, you have to go from acid to alkaline, Saturn to the sun, Satan to Christ. You have to consume the food that contains the high amounts of electricity and energy. This book provides you with all of the syncretisms between science and religion and everything you need to know in one book. My new favorite thing to do is to show you how powerful you are. We are intelligently designed. The eyes contain 137 million cells within 1 square inch in the retina. To put this into perspective, this is 1 million dots and this is 1 square inch. And this is your retina. Your retina consists of 137 million cells. They say this is because of evolution, which is just another theory created by Charles Darwin, a Freemason. Everything physical you see comes from the invisible. Everything you see in the physical plane was manifested by the mind. The phone that you are holding was an idea in someone's mind before they manifested it physically. So therefore, the whole physical world that you see exists within the mind of God. Essentially, we are all existing in the mind of God, and we are all God fractured into separate bodies. This is why Michelangelo painted God within the brain, because the pineal gland is the connection to the mind, which is the divine or God. And one more thing before you go. If you don't believe in God, then you are delusional, because this painting was painted by a painter. Therefore, this physical world was manifested from the mind of God, and we are a microcosm of that mind, and we can use our minds to create things within God's creation. We are made in His image. We are a fracture. If you believe in evolution and know God, debate me. The number one mistake that you make is that you think they wear jewelry just because they are rich. Firstly, the crowns are made out of gold and other gemstones like crystals, which all contribute to amplifying the frequency of your energetic field. Usually they wear purple to symbolize royalty. They wear this on the head because the head is connected to your crown chakra, your highest state of consciousness, which is purple. A lot of ancient cultures used to be decked out in jewelry. They used to hold canes with metal on the bottom and the top because the earth produces magnetic energy, and by grounding, you are actually amplifying your field. When the body is producing a high frequency because of the amplified field, they would be able to sync up with a higher consciousness. This is why you should fill your spaces with precious metals and crystals, because the atoms that create these metals and gemstones are resonating on a high frequency. I have a few of these orgonite technology necklaces left. If you want one, the link is in the bio. Stop eating when the sun is setting. When you chew, chew until it becomes a liquid. Your digestive system can't digest chunks of food. The sun powers your digestive system and your body. When the sun is not present and you eat something, this is going to cause problems within your digestive system. Stop mixing foods. Mixing animal flesh with potato and bread will cause the food to solidify within your stomach, leading to constipation and the birth of parasites within your body. Acne is undigested food coming through your skin. The digestive system cannot digest all of the toxins, so it has to find a way out and it comes through the skin. Your cells are electric, your brain is electric, your central nervous system is electric, and you are electromagnetic. The body runs off electricity. It is an electrical machine. Therefore, your body and your cells needs to be charged by electric food, which is grown under the electric sun. Sun's rays crystallize within the food that is grown underneath the sun. This is why you can see the glowing aura of an apple compared to a slice of flesh. This is dead. You do not want dead things within your body. It will not charge you. Your teeth are not made to rip open flesh. Veganism rearranged is saving me. And your intestines are not like a lion's or a dog's. All the legends in the past knew this, and this is why they were all vegan. Veganism rearranged is saving me because consuming electrical foods feeds your spirit, which is your spiral, your spiraling electromagnetic field, because you're a biological battery, hence why you get charged in a court. Every cell in your body every 90 days transforms into the foods that you've been eating. Consumption of rotten flesh has no electromagnetism behind it. The fruit is electric and full of light. Lions' intestines are shorter. Our teeth are not made to rip open flesh. Meat-eating animals only live up to 15 years. Vegan animals live up to 40 years. Why do you think the Bible talks about humans living over 500 years? All of the geniuses of the past were all vegan. Humans possess a trichromatic vision, which means we are pretty much attracted to seek colours naturally, because our brains are wired to seek colourful food. Each animal and every being has specific qualities in its DNA. For example, bears are ferocious and strong. Camels have the ability to walk thousands of miles, and cats are majestic and sneaky. When you eat these animals, you are eating the virtues of that animal. You literally are what you eat. Meat is flesh, cheese is rotten milk, and eggs are fetuses. These terms have been created to conceal the true nature of what you are actually consuming. You descended from spirit to matter. Now you need to climb the stairway to heaven, which is your spine, and go from matter to spirit. The chakras are not what you think. They are 7 vortexes which our consciousness feeds energy into our physical body. You have a mental, astral, etheric, and physical body. They exist within the etheric plane, which binds your spirit to your physical form. Hence why in the Bible they are known as the 7 seals. States the Lamb is worthy of opening the 7th seal, because the Lamb is Aries, and Aries rules the head region to open the 7th seal, the 7th chakra. They're called the 7 seals because they seal your invisible consciousness. Heaven is even. This is why Jesus is pointed at the heart chakra, which is the balance point. When your vortexes are balanced, you have a deeper connection with your universal intelligence. Your higher self will have an easier job manifesting itself throughout the body. The world is stuck in the lower 3 energy centers, lust, food, and power. Instead, we want to aim to use the higher parts of the body, expression, intuition, and wisdom. Illnesses exist on a low frequency. When we consume low vibrational foods, we lower our frequency to match the illnesses. If you have something wrong with your body, it's more than likely that you have an acidic-based environment. Bacteria can thrive in an acidic-based environment. We need to raise our frequency and turn to the alkaline environment in order to heal our body. If I have anything wrong with my body, I'll do 2 weeks with 1 fruit to cleanse the digestive system. Then I'll go on a fast, only consuming water and herbal teas. When your digestive system is inactive, the energy used to digest food can be used to heal the body. Mother Nature provides you with everything to survive and thrive, and the king knows this. Veganism rearranged is saving me, because when you consume meat, you are consuming adrenochrome. Adrenochrome is the blood from a petrified, slaughtered being. It contains fear hormones. Words are secretly encoded, and they cast spells on your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind takes everything you say as diet has the word die, because the food they tell you to eat nowadays makes you sick. Meat has the word eat, which is a subconscious spell for you to consume blood and flesh, because consuming this food keeps you stuck in 3rd dimensional awareness, in the lowest state of consciousness. Veganism is an anagram for saving me, Because when you stop consuming flesh, your consciousness can raise past the 3D construct. Animals are easily programmed and tamed like a pet, and this is why they want you to consume it, because you are what you eat. Your cells every 90 days turn into the food that you've consumed. This is why the population is aging at a rapid rate, because the food that we are consuming is dead. When we eat electrical live foods, we age less. Slaughter has the word laughter because they want you to laugh at the slaughtering of animals. Words create perception, and the food industry utilize more neutral words to create a better perception in your mind. Instead of saying beef flesh, they say beef mince. Or instead of saying a chicken fetus, they say egg. Or rotten cheese is milk. These CIA documents reveal that thought waves can become a physical particle. Thoughts manipulate your universal hologram, which is your electromagnetic field. This proves that we are in a three-dimensional construct, which is a holographic world, and your thoughts and emotions manipulate this three-dimensional construct. You literally create your own reality based off your thoughts. You are an invisible consciousness, which is controlling this physical avatar, which manipulates the holographic construct of the external world through your thoughts and emotions. The things you own in life, the friends you have, are all reflections of your past thoughts. You are a result of your thoughts. The elites know this knowledge, and this is why they keep you on the lowest vibration possible so that you manifest the worst possible reality. This is why they're called a government. Ment means mind. They govern your mind through information. Your information is your perception, and your perception is your reality. The word of the day is, people, you can get anything you want in this life just by working and changing your thoughts. When you change your thoughts, further down the line, your external world will change because your external world mirrors your thoughts. We are literally in a holographic game, people. The devil is red because it's the lowest vibrational color, which is the root chakra. The root chakra is all to do with survival mode. In order for you to survive, you will kill and be in your animal nature. This is why the so-called devil has a goat head. The same goat you see in the music industry. This is why you call them the goat. They have not sold their soul to Satan. Satan is a demonic energy within the astral plane. These have exchanged money in order for them to portray and manifest negative energy through the music, so that they keep you in your lower states of consciousness in the root chakra. Music is frequency, and whatever you listen to, you are becoming that frequency. And the words that they say in the music are staying within your subconscious mind, which manifests your behavior. The devil's tail is a triangle pointing down because it's a part of your Merkaba, ascension and descension. Devil's tail is the downward triangle. Your Merkaba is your light body. Mer equals light, Ka equals spirit, Ba equals body. Merkaba. It's your celestial sphere to portray different planes of reality. The devil's tail is the descension. Your head is heaven, your heel is hell. God, your consciousness is in the brain. If you have this PDF, I've added new pages, just re-download it. The link is in the bio. Did you know Playboy Carti practices magic? Many people have reported Carti staring into a flame for hours before he records. The reason he does this is to enter a trance-like state. By staring at the candle for long periods of time, you will escape the human mind of thought, allowing your consciousness to access the astral or the mental planes. The magician would do this with an intent to gain a certain information or certain thing from these higher planes. What this does is that it allows you to channel information into your conscious mind. Carti will more than likely do this to channel specific beats or ideas for music, because he understands that we are not just physical beings. If we can escape the human mind of thought, we can actually access higher realms and dimensions. Carti is also well known for doing energy work before his concerts. He will meditate in a black room claiming a certain energy for 30 minutes. And this is why everyone says he has so much aura. It's because when doing these meditations, you will invoke energy within your consciousness through emotion. He will do this to claim that energy. When he comes out onto the stage, he is then presenting that energy. Anyone can do these rituals and they will dramatically change your life. Why is it the Egyptians are obsessed with snakes? They've hidden this knowledge from you. Snakes shed their skin to remove old layers. They represent transformation. Kundalini is symbolized with snakes because you're transforming sexual energy to the brain. That's why the medical symbol uses a snake, because they transform your health back to healthy. Every ancient culture and religion uses snakes. They represent the ancient religion of ascension, transforming from a physical being to a spiritual being. low frequency to high frequency. These foods keep you in low frequency, hence why they're all red, orange, and yellow for the lower 3 chakras. Snakes represent the ancient religion of mental or spiritual alchemy, turning lead into gold. Lead ruled by Saturn, physical matter. Gold ruled by the sun, enlightenment. Turning low-level desire and pleasure into wisdom, intuition, and expression, raising your thoughts and consciousness out of the lower half of the body to the head. They've hidden the ancient religion of the snake to make you worship a god outside of yourself. Now they give you Allah and Jesus, which are in essence demons in the astral planes. Read the caption to understand that. If you want to learn symbolism, the masterclass is now available. The pyramids in Egypt have these cylinders, but no one is speaking about Luxor Temple, located in Karnak, Egypt. It's built in the figure of the human body. It's not a temple for worship. It was a 3D mystery school, teaching the science of ascension of our consciousness. The entrance is the feet. The feet touch the material earth, which represents the lower mind, the low state of consciousness. Every one of these rooms contains symbolism, containing secret teachings in order to ascend, designed to gradually elevate the individual's mind from the lower to the higher, from matter to spirit. These symbols on the walls encoded secret spiritual wisdom, and you would have to go room by room to work your way up. Egyptians never worshipped any deity. They taught the secret teachings of occultism on how to expand the human awareness. Congratulations to everyone who used the code. Why is it Freemasons stand on this checkered floor? We see this in music videos. It represents division and illusion. You think you are this physical body, which is the illusion of the physical plane. You need to ascend to higher understanding of the spiritual planes. Mainstream music is hypnosis, putting you in a trance and keeping you in the illusion of the matrix. These Masonic tools are tools to recraft your mind, reshaping your belief system and ascending to higher consciousness. Stop remaining in the illusion. Low-level pleasures, lust, food, sex, entertainment. Learn symbolism to raise your understanding of yourself. Everything is spoken to you in symbolism. I've made it so easy for you all to learn symbolism. You'll learn every symbol possible. Why is it Jesus wears a white robe? This is all symbolism. The color white represents spirit. Your spirit is your astral body, immortal body of light that you use when you dream. You came from the astral plane. You descended into matter. You're a fallen angel angle, a fallen angle of light. Daytime, you're in your physical body. The nighttime, you're in your astral body. You are an immortal soul, a multi-dimensional creature. You can travel between dimensions. Jesus was the fisher of men. In Latin, the word men means mind. Jesus was the fisher of minds, pulling minds out of the physical world. Neo pulls minds out of the simulation. If Jesus existed, he was not God. We are all God. He was a person who descended into matter and helped people ascend their mind out of the physical world. These are the sacred teachings of astral projection. Jesus in the sky with the white robe represents your astral body. They hide everything in symbolism. They've disconnected you from the heavens. The whole world used to speak one language. This language was called telepathy. We could speak by transferring thoughts through the energetic grid that surrounds us all. Tower of Babel represents this connection to the astral and mental plane. The Bible mentions this tower being cut down. It symbolizes losing our connection to the higher realms. Once the tower was cut down, the whole world spoke a different language. Tower of Babel is a symbolic story representing losing the ability to telepathically communicate. Have you ever thought about someone and they magically appear on your phone? This is because we're all connected on the mental plane. Language is a spell. It molds our mind, limits our imagination, confines our thoughts to structures. Imagine thinking without your mind using a language. To gain telepathic powers, meditate for long periods of time on one intent. Focus the mind's energy and attention on one thing for long periods of time.
Jesus and Satan do not exist. Jesus and Satan are two characters that represent a psychological process within the human mind. Jesus, the higher mind, the good thoughts, love. Satan, the little voice in your head that tells you to steal, rob, and hate. You must save yourself from the destructive thoughts and the internal hell that you may live in. You created the destruction in your life. Satan never made it. You made it. There's no devil tempting you to do anything. It's your own mind. And you'll forever blame external things until you realize this truth.
This is a very strong magnet. When we pour liquid nitrogen on it, nothing happens between the two magnetic poles. When we pour liquid oxygen on it, there is an attraction between the two magnetic poles. This proves there is electromagnetic energy within oxygen. This is why the word breath means spirit, because when we breathe deeply and do breath meditation, we strengthen our electromagnetic field, which is your spirit, your spiral. Breathing exercises sends oxygen, which is energy, to the brain and stimulates the pineal gland. You can quite literally trip off your breath because your lungs produce DMT, and when you breathe deeply, you can activate a mystical experience or an out-of-body experience during meditation. So when you breathe deeply for long periods of time, you will feel yourself going lightheaded because you're activating your consciousness, you're awakening your pineal gland and your spirit. Whatever you do, stop breathing through your mouth.
Females are magnetic, they attract. Males are electric, they are the action taker. Everything is electromagnetic. Trees resemble brains. Their branches mirror electricity, which looks exactly like your nervous system because you are an electric technological being. The same fractal patterns appear on leaves, rivers, lightning. The sun gives life to the earth. Your soul gives life to your body. The sun is the universal soul. The day is life, the night is death. When you sleep, you enter your spirit, astral body, death. When you're awake, you enter your material body, life. Death is just a greater version of sleep. That's why we say sleep is the cousin of death. You are the universe in miniature, a fragment of God.
Why is it astronauts always do this symbolism? These are the only 3 monkey emojis. It symbolizes speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil. Have you ever seen something horrible and it makes you shiver? Light is information. It enters the brain through the retinas of your eyes. This information affects your whole nervous system. Everything you see, touch, taste, hear and smell positively or negatively affects your nervous system and contributes towards shaping and molding your mind. And your mind shapes your reality. Astronauts do this because they're Freemasons and they know everything that enters them is shaping them in some form. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, people.
Placing your hands together completes the electrical circuit of your body. Your hands are manifestations of your brain hemispheres. The left hand is the right brain, the creative one. The right hand is the left brain, the logical one. Tate uses these mudras as a technique to merge the brain hemispheres, to merge logic with creativity. Most people are trapped in their logical mind because society programs you that way. You're taught to use your right hand in writing to strengthen the left hemisphere, trapping you in logic, dulling creativity. Christianity, nuns are forced to write with their right hand to strengthen the left hemisphere. Hence why it's called writing. Sounds like the right. They need you using the right side of your body to keep you in logic. Look at prayer. We place our hands together in prayer. This stems from an ancient form of meditation of placing the hands together to sync the brain hemispheres, to unlock consciousness. Because when the brain hemispheres work as one electrical system, consciousness expands. The mind becomes unified. Join my Telegram in the bio.
Depression doesn't actually exist, and I'm going to prove it to you that you're actually choosing to become depressed, right? So what you need to understand is about depression is that depression is a part of the thinking mind. Now let me break this down for you so you can understand. You have a thinking mind, what we call the conscious mind, and inside this conscious mind you have your name, your job, your reputation, your body, your trauma, your memories, your family, your interests, your bills. But what happens if you turn off that thinking mind? What is left? Well, you're left with you. You've probably never thought about this. Who's the observator of this? Who's observing your thoughts? If you turn off your thoughts, you're no longer your name, your belief system, nothing. You're left with consciousness, you're left with the soul, and that's the true you, and that's what you need to connect with. You know that void that you have in your heart sometimes when you just feel horrible? It's because you're not doing what this is saying. We all have this feeling inside of us that tells us the right thing to do at all times. And if we do not connect with that, that is why we are depressed. That is the soul screaming out. So, my people, learn how to meditate if you have depression. I've been there, okay? And I promise you, depression does not exist. It's a choice. And when you learn to gain that off switch with your mind, you can turn depression off. Because depression is part of the thinking mind. You have to learn how to switch off the mind and control your thoughts. The moon is a soul trap that makes you reincarnate. You live in a soul system, not a solar system. No one's trying to trap your soul. Let me explain. The moon does in fact trap your soul, and yes, it does reincarnate you, but it's not how you think it works. You have to understand that you are a physical being and you have an astral body. Astral body is the body you use when you dream and when you imagine. Imagination is a dimension. There are 7 layers to the astral plane, which are the 7 planets. Moon at the bottom, Saturn at the top, and the sun in the middle. When you die, you are stripped of your physical body, left with thought and emotion inside the astral plane, imagination. Imagination is your biggest power when you die. If you die with your mind and emotions still attached to addiction, sex, lust, and the material things of the world, then you will manifest in the lower astral plane, where low vibrational thoughts and imaginations take place, which is governed by the moon. Most souls in this physical world are attached to physical pleasure, and when they die, they manifest in the moon on the lower astral plane because they still desire the physical plane. When you are there and you can't fulfill your physical desire, you will reincarnate yourself. In order to ascend to the higher astral planes, we must detach from the external world before we die. If your soul is detached from the world, then you will merge with the sun. Hence why Jesus says, you can only reach the Father if you go through me. Jesus is the sun, and when you die, your light body will attach to one of the planets depending on your level of awareness. The moon is not a soul trap, it's not reincarnating you. You get yourself there by not preparing for death. Take a look at this masterpiece. This is 1,900 years old, containing a hologram effect. Proof that we were far more advanced than what we are led to believe in our history. The Egyptian gods never existed. They symbolize the sun in the 4 different states. Horus is the sun when it's rising. Horizon, Horus is rising. Word hours rearranged is Horus. Ra is the sun when it's radiant, when the sun is the most high, 12 noon. Set is the sun at 6 p.m. when the sun sets. Yearly cycle is a daily cycle. Spring is 6 a.m. Summer is 12. Autumn is when the sun sets. Nighttime is winter. Horus and Set is Jesus and Satan. Set, the ground animal, lower self. Horus, the bird, the air animal, the higher self. Egyptian scarab is a dung beetle. Rolls dung up and then down the hill, representing the sun rising and falling. Hence why the Egyptians used the sun above him. The Vatican is a sun dial because Jesus is the sun with his 12 disciples.
You don't go to hell because you sinned, not because you didn't believe in God, but because your soul was still chained to the physical world. Your body is stripped when you die, leaving your inner world of thought and emotion. If your soul is still craving physical pleasures, sex, money, fame, then you will suffer in your own suffering because in spirit you can't fulfill the physical desires of the physical plane. Monks shave their heads, abandon the material world, not out of fear, but to free themselves before death. I'm not saying go full monk mode, but find balance. Enjoy life. Enjoy the pleasures of the world. Just don't let them own you. Love your family, but not attach to it, because one day you will leave this world behind. Everything is temporary, and your consciousness needs to be in the correct state in order to ascend. Hell is not a real place, but your own suffering in the afterlife. Join my Telegram in the bio.